Hi YouTube, it's Kathy and welcome to my BookTube-A-Thon TBR and also some weird early evening lighting. It is that time of year again where the booktube community comes together and participates in the BookTube-A-Thon. As always, there are 7 challenges for which I've picked out 7 books and I'm going to tell you about them. The first challenge is to let a coin toss decide what your first read is, so I'm going to do that at the end when you already know all of my books. And because I'm Canadian, I'm gonna do it with a loonie. Also, it's the only coin that was handy. Laundry. The second challenge is a book about something you want to do, and for that I've decided to read Babette. This is about a superhero who doesn't take herself too seriously, and that's the kind of superhero I would be. And I mean honestly, who doesn't want to be a spy/superhero at some point in their life? Number 3 is to read a book and watch the movie Adaptation, and even though I've already read this book and watched this movie twice this year, until I find something else for this slot, I'm going to go with Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda and Love, Simon, because I have access to both of those things. But if I think of something else leading up to the BookTube-A-Thon, I can definitely change this out. As you might know if you've been around my channel for a while, I get 95% of my books from the library, so there's a whole hold situation, figuring out exactly what to get and whether or not I'll get it on time. So it's just easier to pick something I know and love and have my own copy of. Number 4 is a book with green on the cover, and for that I have chosen Well, That Escalated Quickly by Francesca Ramsey. If you have not seen her YouTube channel or listened to her podcast, Francesca Ramsey is a wonderful human being who is an activist, and this is a memoir of sorts. It's also nice and short, which is what I want for the BookTube-A-Thon. Number 5 is the highly controversial challenge of wear a hat for the entire time you're reading the book. Believe it or not, this is not my natural hair color. In fact, it rubs off on basically anything I lay my head on. You do not want to see my pillow right now. So because I don't want to dye the inside of any hat really blue, I'm going to go for a very short read. This is called Love Beyond Body, Space, and Time, and this is an Indigenous LGBT sci-fi anthology. Like I mentioned, it's nice and short. This anthology features 11 Indigenous authors, and it's edited by Hope Nicholson, who's the same person who did The Secret Loves of Geeks and The Secret Loves of Geek Girls. I really like those collections, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna adore this. Number 6 is read a book with a beautiful spine, and for that one I think I'm going to go with The Poet X because this spine is very pretty, but also because this looks like it might be a little bit of long read, but actually it's told in poetry, so it will be a little bit easier to get through in the 1 week period. I've been known to perform some slam poetry in my day, although it's been a little while, so it's going to be interesting to get back into this culture. The 7th challenge is always the same. It's to read 7 books, and because I've only mentioned 5 right now, I need to mention 2 more. The first one I'm going to mention is Spun by Catherine Mackenzie. This is a Canadian author, and this is actually a spin-off of a book called Spin. I read Spin many years ago, but from what I can remember, it follows a journalist who follows a celebrity into rehab. The journalist also pretty much needs to go to rehab, and she ends up making a friendship with the celebrity that she was supposed to be writing about. Spun is about that celebrity. Her name's Amber, and she has left rehab, and that's all I'm going to read from the back of the book because I like to go into my things without knowing too much. And where would a week-long readathon be without an audiobook, for which I've picked up Homefire. I downloaded this today on the Cloud Library app, which is an app that you can get through your library, which means audiobooks are free. I have 4 or 5 different apps through the library that get me free audiobooks. And honestly, I don't know anything about this book. I have seen it pop up on different channels and people have recommended it, and I know that it won the Bailey's Prize, but I don't know anything about the plot, and because it's me, I'm just going to go into it without knowing anything, because I'm fine with that. And now we just have to decide which 2 books are going to go against each other for the coin flip. I'm going to make it a toss-up between Love Beyond Body, Space, and Time and Well, That Escalated Quickly. This will be my heads book. This will be my tails book, which in our case means either the queen or a bird called a loon, which is why this is called a loonie. And it's a heads. Heads means that this will be my first read, and I'll be reading it with a hat on my head. Hat to be determined. It's honestly kind of weird to do a TBR with physical books in my hand because I don't actually have a viewfinder on my camera, so I'm pretty sure everything has been glary. I usually just put up the cover of the book. It's fun to switch everything up every once in a while, and plus I actually got my haul from the library. So there you have it, my sort of ambitious, sort of smart TBR for the BookTube-A-Thon. If you're participating, let me know if your TBR is up down below, and I would love to check it out. If you've read any of these, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!